Calling to order the Monday, October 7th regular meeting of the 34th Council of the City of Berkeley. Ms. Prince, would you please call the roll?
Councilmember Baker?
Here.
Councilmember Blanchard?
Here.
Councilmember Kadekel?
Here.
Councilmember Platt-Onson?
Here.
Councilmember Stedman?
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Turbrack?
Here.
And Mayor O'Dwyer.
Here. First order of business is the approval of tonight's agenda. Is there a motion to approve the agenda?
Motion to approve.
Mr. Mayor, thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Councilmember Kadekel.
I'd like to move with the amendment on item number 4 for the city of Berkeley at an annual cost of $4,150 as opposed to $4,100.
Very good. And is there support from Councilmember Stedman?
Yes, there is.
Very good. Any additional changes? Hearing none, then Ms. Prince, would you please call the roll?
Blanchard?
Yes.
Kadekel?
Yes.
Platt-Onson?
Yes.
Stedman?
Yes.
Turbrack?
Yes.
Baker?
Yes.
O'Dwyer.
Yes. The agenda has been approved. Now, do we have Pastor Jonathan Vitale to give the invocation? Please stand.
Let's pray. God, thank you for this day that you've given us. Thank you for the city of Berkeley, a wonderful place to live and raise a family. God, thank you for this city council. And God, thank you for Mayor O'Dwyer. I pray tonight that as decisions are made, that you would give wisdom and guidance and clarity. I pray that there would just be a sense of unity as you are guiding this team to make decisions for the better of our city. And we pray for our city, God, that you would continue to let it flourish and that you would continue to bless it. We thank you for what you're going to do this evening, and we love you. In Jesus' name, amen.
Please remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And now we come to the citizens' comments portion of tonight's meeting, when you may present your thoughts on issues that are not included on tonight's agenda. Council members will not engage you in discussion. If your concern needs to be addressed by a member of city staff or a department of the city, please sign your name on the form provided at the clerk's table. You may speak on a specific agenda item when it is being considered. When you come to the microphone, please state your name and city of residence.
Good evening. My name is Dan Mihaescu. I reside here in Berkeley, and I'm the chairman of the Berkeley Beautification Advisory Committee. And we have a brief presentation here to highlight the landscapes of the year. As the Beautification Committee, we wanted to recognize those homes that have taken the extra effort to maintain the upkeep of their home and put the money and time into landscaping. And so we've highlighted 10 homes for the year. 7 of the 10 have signs actually in front of them now. So as you drive by, you will be able to see those signs. And there is no particular order for the homes as we list them here. So the first home here, as you can see, is on Kipling, and we thought that it had a wonderful job of highlighting the large tree in the use of stones and doing a very nice job of keeping their lawn well manicured. This was a home on Harvard also that had a nice large mature tree in the front of the house with various perennials and boulders that they also used to accent the landscape. This was a house on the corner of Larkmore and Cass. It's difficult being a corner house to have the entire yard looking beautiful, but they did a great job of various perennials, keeping a lot of color accented throughout the year and doing also a very good job of maintaining their lawn. This was a wonderful home here on Wiltshire, a lot of color with the use of annuals, and they also planted a new tree there in the front as well. This was a home on Franklin. They have a lot of layers in terms of the approach to the house with different colors, and you can see that they've done a very nice job there with perennials. This is a larger home on Dorothea, and actually because of the size, it's a little bit more difficult to landscape, but they did have various accents with the fountain, the flagpole, and the lamppost, which we thought was very nice. This photo is a little bit on the dim side, but you can see that this home here on Gardner did have a nice border with the use of stones and annuals, and to the left there on the back, you can see that there's also a fountain that they did a very nice job with the accenting of the yard. This home here on Phillips, you can see that they did a very nice job of maintaining their grass, and also they used shrubs to, evergreen shrubs to keep the border throughout the season. And then lastly, here on Kenmore, we have a home that used the recurring theme of the hostas and the color there to create a nice border that maintained itself throughout the growing season. And then I apologize, the last home here is on Larkmore, and they have the 2 juniper shrubs highlighting the approach to the house and some evergreens as well in the front and a beautiful lawn. So these homes were wonderful, and we very much appreciate and thank all of the homeowners for taking the time to do a wonderful job. Being that this is the first year we're recognizing these homes, next year we'll be choosing new homes. So don't feel left out if you're not nominated again. Keep up the great work, and thank you very much.
Thank you, Dan.
Good evening. I'm Denise Brainerd from Berkeley, and I'm here about Berkeley Days 2014. We are starting to plan that. And not to take up a lot of time, because at the next meeting, I believe we've got some trophies that need to get distributed.
Good work.
But we'll do that next time, as well as some money that we've also got to distribute. We had a fantastic year in 2013. We are starting to plan 2014. The reason that I am here tonight is because our first Berkeley Days meeting is going to be next Wednesday, the 16th, at 7 o'clock at the Community Center. So at that time, we will be selecting our new board for 2014. I am hoping that we can get even more groups from the city to join Berkeley Days. It's a wonderful fundraiser. We're pulling some new people into Berkeley Days. I'm hoping this year we'll be able to, or in 2014, we can get the parade to come back. That's what my goal is for 2014. But the meeting is on October 16th at 7 o'clock at the Community Center. Berkeley Days right now is scheduled. The race is going to be on May 10th. And the carnival is going to start on May 15th and run through the 18th. So everyone can start marking their calendar for all the fun stuff that we've got coming up next year. So thank you very much. If anybody's interested, October 16th at the Community Center. Thank you.
Thank you, Denise.
My name is Jim Greenwood. I'm a resident of Huntington Woods. And I'm here to talk a little bit about Everyone's Garden, which is located at Song and Spirit at 2599 Harvard. The name Everyone's Garden is indicative of it being open to people with and without disabilities. And frankly, I think it's one of the hidden treasures of Berkeley. And we expect that to continue for many years. This year, we actually had over 100 people with disabilities participate in the garden. And we grew and donated a lot of food to the food banks, over 100 pounds. We also sold food to In Seasons. We sold food to the Cacao Tree. And we sold food to the residents of Berkeley. And one of the things that we find with the garden is when we put up a sign out front of Song and Spirit, all of a sudden people started showing up. And the garden is actually located way in the back of Song and Spirit, so but nobody knows it's there and it has very poor visibility. But when we got the sign up there, the side effect is we had a lot of people come in thinking it was their garden. So we would find people that come in and want to help themselves to all the food that we're growing. And we kind of explain that they're welcome to the food, but it's really inclusive of everyone and not necessarily that you can come in and take food for yourself. So one of the main reasons I'm here is to tell you that we are having an event to celebrate the success of the garden. It's going to be on October 20th from 2 to 4:30. And everyone is welcome. So part of our agenda is that we have a keynote speaker that we've invited to address the group, and that's our Honorable Mr. Mayor, Phil O'Dwyer, excuse me. and he's agreed to say a few words. And we've also invited in many of the local politicians, the state politicians. We expect Carl and Sandra Levin, Gary Peters, and some of the people from the state to be there also. And my only words to you, Mr. Mayor, is we want to recognize the people from the disability community, and if we get the politicians up there, we're not going to have enough time for them all to speak. So we'll keep those short and to the point, and bring your sense of humor, and I know that everybody enjoys having you at their events, so we look forward to that. And our agenda is really kind of a very simple one. We plan to have garden tours. We're going to have some cooking demonstrations going on by well-known local chefs. You're probably familiar with Simply Good in Birmingham. The chefs are Bill and Shani, and they're going to be doing a cooking demonstration, food grown from the garden. We're also going to have Amber, who is the owner of the Cacao Tree in Royal Oak, and it's a raw food restaurant. And she's going to be doing the raw food side of how to use food from the garden. And then after Phil gets done saying a few words and warming the crowd up, we're going to have a short concert of a very well-known jazz band that will go on for 20 minutes to a half an hour and really wind things up and get people out of there. So everyone is welcome, and we hope we'll see you on the 20th.
Thank you, Jim. Seeing no one else coming to the microphone, then we'll move on to the consent agenda. Ms. Prince, would you please read the items on tonight's consent agenda?
Yes. Approval of the minutes. Matter of approving the minutes of the regular city council meeting on September 16th, 2013, and approval of the warrant. Matter of approving warrant number 1271.
Is there a motion to approve the consent agenda?
Motion to approve.
Motion to approve by
Support.
Councilmember Baker with support by Councilmember Blanchard. Any changes, corrections? Hearing none. Ms. Prince, would you please call the roll?
Kadeco?
Yes.
Platt Onson?
Yes.
Stedman?
Yes.
Turbrack?
Yes.
Baker?
Yes.
Blanchard?
Yes.
O'Dwyer?
Yes. And now we move to the regular agenda. Ms. Prince, would you please read item number 1 on tonight's regular agenda?
Recognitions and presentations. Manner of any recognitions or presentations from the consent agenda.
Thank you. I don't see any recognitions or presentations to be made tonight, so Ms. Prince, would you please read item number 2?
Closed session, matter of approving recessing into closed session to consider attorney-client communication, which is exempt from disclosure pursuant to Section 8 of the Open Meetings Act.
Is there a motion to go into closed session?
Move to go into closed session.
Moved by Councilmember Kadeco.
Support.
Support by Councilmember Blanchard. Ms. Prince, would you please call the roll on going into closed session?
Platt Onson?
Yes.
Stedman?
Yes.
Turbrack?
Yes.
Baker?
Yes.
Blanchard?
Yes.
Kadeco?
Yes.
O'Dwyer?
Yes. For the sake of the audience here, we should be in closed session for 15 to 20 minutes. I expect, and not much more than that, so we'll be back in 20 minutes. Thank you. full
50
now.
degrees outside.
I know, it's really.
Because it's
good.
fall now.
It's really warm in here.
Okay, is there a motion to resume?
Move to resume.
Move to resume by
Support.
Councilmember Kideckel, support by Mayor Pro Tem Terbrack. Ms. Prince, please call the roll.
Let's see, Baker,
Yes.
Blanchard,
Here.
Kadeco,
Yes.
Platt Onson,
Yes.
Stedman,
Yes.
Turbrack,
Yes.
O'Dwyer.
Yes. And now, Ms. Prince, would you please read item number 3 on tonight's agenda?
Yes. Motion number M 5213, matter of approving various appointments to boards and commissions.
Is there a motion to approve M 5213?
Motion to approve 5213. Support.
Motion to approve by Mayor Pro Tem Terbrack with support by Councilmember Baker. Mr. Sessa.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor. Good evening, Mr. Mayor, City Council, members of the audience. Thank you very much for joining us this evening. Mr. Mayor, if you don't mind, what I'd like to do is just go over the 3 resumes of the 3 individuals that the City Council is considering. The first is Mr. Blake Oseki. He is asking to be appointed to the Environmental Advisory Committee. His full term is to expire in 2016. Tell you a little bit about him. He is an engineer with General Motors, and he is very new to our community. But he has a very, very strong technical background, and he's also very interested in political science and, in particular, environmental issues. So he feels that this position is very much in line with his interests and would like to very much be a part of this committee so that he can help clean up our environment. And with that, he is being recommended for your consideration. Mr. Mayor, should I just go down with the 3
Yes,
of them?
please.
Okay, then the next is Mr. Robert Pincala. He is he's an administrator for Macomb Community College, and he has been a resident of the city of Berkeley for more than 22 years. In terms of his qualifications, he is an advanced master gardener since 2000. He resides in St. John Woods, and he loves trees, and he has a very special interest in maintaining trees, and he has also been a past member of the tree board, and he says he enjoys working on teams. He is also, I guess, an interesting fact here that he writes at the end. He says he's willing to wear the Berkeley Tree mascot outfit, so if it still exists, make sure we get that out of the whatever somewhere to have that wear. But he is willing to wear that, so we do recommend him as well. And then we also have Ann Shadle. And she has been a resident of the city of Berkeley for more than 13 years. She is self-employed and works in the field of finance. She has a bachelor's and master's degree in engineering, along with more than 13 years in finance, which she feels would qualify her to contribute to the Planning Commission. She feels that her strong analytical abilities would allow her to evaluate any proposed development and redevelopment cases without personal bias. And she also indicates that she has a strong established roots in Berkeley, and she looks forward to playing a much different role and greater role with the city for her family that calls Berkeley home. So she is being recommended as well. Now, in this case, in this instance, since this is an appointment to the Planning Commission, this is a recommendation of the mayor. So the mayor is recommending this individual, and the city council has to now approve it, okay, or consider it. And then the last one that we have here for your consideration is Mr. Mateo, and I believe it's pronounced Pasalacqua. Pasalacqua. And he is he works in the field of real estate. And he has been a resident of the city of Berkeley for 2 years, and we are appointing him to the beautification committee. And again, he and his family have a long history in Berkeley, and they are very interested in working on a committee that at least will get him started, to get him to get to know the city a little better. So his background is primarily in real estate and finance, and in construction, so I think he'll be a good asset for the beautification committee. So we look forward to working with him. And with that, Your Honor, those are the 4 individuals that we're asking the city council to consider for appointment.
Thank you very much. I'd like to thank all 4 volunteers for offering their talents and their skills and placing them at the service of the city. And are there any, is there any discussion on this item, on any of the candidates? Are any of the candidates here? We have we have a couple of them here. Now, do any of the candidates want to say a word or two? Why not?
Come on up.
Good evening. Blake Oseski, recent graduate of Purdue University, started working for General Motors in mid-July, resident of Berkeley, starting in early August. Like I said, strong technical background, as you read earlier, minored in political science with a concentration on environmental politics. This is very much an avenue I'd like to explore. Through Purdue, found a strong interest in political science and want to get involved. So 2 months in, here I am.
Thank you very much for volunteering.
Ann Shadle very much would appreciate being on the Planning Commission, and thank you in advance for considering myself in doing so. Look forward to utilizing my engineering degrees, my analytical background to continue to help Berkeley into the future. It is my home, is my family's home, and will continue to be. So would look forward to being able to play a greater role in that.
Thank you, Ann.
Mateo Passalacqua for the Beautification Committee. Yeah, my mom grew up in Berkeley, and I moved away for a while, but when we came back to the Metro Detroit area, I was pretty dead set on finding a house in the 2.5 square miles of Berkeley. We were lucky enough to do so. And would really like to just see the Beautification Committee get involved with the parks. I think that there's something there with the Friends of the City Parks. As far as trash pickup and landscaping, working with code enforcement on housing, working with people who may not have the funds or the physical ability to work with their property. I think the beautification work could really get involved there. And maybe even working with the DDA to talk to the businesses and see, what a coat of paint could do for business along the corridors. I think there's a lot of potential there. So thanks a lot for your time.
Thank you, Mateo. Any additional discussion? Hearing none, then Ms. Prince, would you please call the roll on M5213?
Stedman?
Yes.
Turbrack?
Yes.
Baker?
Yes.
Blanchard?
Yes.
Kadeco?
Yes.
Platt Onson?
Yes.
O'Dwyer?
Yes. Now, Ms. Prince, would you please read item number 4?
Motion number M5313, matter of awarding Public Stuff a 3-year agreement to create and maintain a mobile device application for the city of Berkeley at an annual cost of $4,150.
Is there a motion to approve M5313?
Motion to approve M5313.
Motion to approve by Councilmember Baker with support by Councilmember Kadeco. Mr. Sessa.
Council, this is one item that I'm very, very proud to bring before you. This is something that I've been working on for, I'd say, more than 2 years. And now, thanks to our IT coordinator, Casey O'Neill, we're able to do that. I got together to work with him in developing a request for proposal to help us identify a company that could develop this for us. Now, even though they're going to be developing it for us, Mr. O'Neill is going to be responsible for administering it and working with the departments to make sure that everything is in line. And now I'm looking at y'all's faces, and you're probably wondering, what is an app or an application?
We know
I
that.
know.
We
You all
know.
know, right?
We read the 46 pages.
Did you read it? So, this kind of reminds me of the first time when I approached the city council not too long ago. And I'm kidding. When I talked about setting up a website for the city and setting up email, I remember back in those days, people were a little leery of this. So what I'd like to do now is I'd like to have our IT coordinator come up and talk a little bit about what we did as to how we got here And then he's got a presentation that was given to us by Public Stuff, because they're not located here in the state. And we'll show you exactly how an app works. Okay, with that, Mr. O'Neill?
Like Jane said, we put out a bid for a mobile application, and we left it pretty open-ended. And we received 10 responses, 3 of which we determined to be finalists, and the city manager and I had demonstrations with them. And Public Stuff stood out as the most experienced and probably the best way to go for us. And the 3 features that it provides, and it will provide the citizens, is for us, it's a mobile app for the city, and it'll be a strong marketing and promotion tool for the city. And then the big part of it is also the citizen request management system, which lets us interact with citizens, lets them submit requests, and the video will show a little more of that. And also it provides us the ability to send out push notifications to people's phones if there's an emergency or some situation where we need to communicate quickly with the residents.
One of the primary reasons of this app, Council, is so that this is another way where we can communicate better with our residents. This is another way where we can assist them quicker. And this is another way that we're hoping we can continue to improve the services that we provide to the residents of Berkeley in a cost-effective manner. So with that, Case?
You want me to turn the light on?
Yes, please.
The air to.
Today, the world is going mobile. Mobile technology and the web are enhancing relationships and improving communications every day. There are over 1 billion active mobile broadband subscriptions worldwide. Half of all Americans now use smartphones. By 2015, that number will increase to 2/3 of the population. This movement is transforming the way people connect to their surroundings and to each other. There will be one mobile device for every person on Earth by 2015. Today, smart urban leaders are harnessing the power of the mobile movement with Public Stuff, where social networking meets city improvement and community development. Public Stuff enables immediate communication between the city and its residents, building transparency and public satisfaction. Residents submit service requests, receive status updates, and are alerted when issues are resolved. Cities can share urgent information and notifications, increasing responsiveness to citizens. Wherever residents go, Public Stuff is just a touch away. Requests made in real time via the web, toll-free number, SMS texting, and through our Android, iPhone, and BlackBerry applications are routed directly to the right city staff member in the right department. Duplicate requests are resolved immediately, so staff can focus on resolving issues. With its easy-to-use dashboard, Public Stuff works seamlessly with existing back-end software systems. This enables comprehensive workflow management, letting staff access real-time statistics and automatically delegate tasks. Making data-driven decisions couldn't be easier with Public Stuff. GIS mapping and ESRI integration allows existing GPS data to be imported. Customizable layered mapping makes it easy to know where service requests are located. Interactive reports can be generated in real time, giving access to critical information the moment it's needed. And with automatic updates and full IT support, Public Stuff guarantees the safety of your systems and data. Time and cost savings are significant and measurable. Public Stuff's streamlined workflow has helped save cities up to $360,000 annually and decreases the number of service requests submitted by 38%. Local governments are able to engage with their community like never before. Citizens are able to become the extended eyes and ears and easily send actionable data back to city staff. This builds community awareness, positive relationships with local government, and a sense of community pride. Join the movement. Register your city today at publicstuff.com.
So with that, be happy to answer any questions.
Any questions?
Questions for Casey? Mayor Pro Tem Turbrack.
First, a comment and then a question. Comment, yeah, I think it's great, obviously. In the world that we live in, technology continues to be more and more an integral part of communication. People just communicate online, whether it's through email or a text message or even video chatting, much more than they probably communicate in person these days. So I think it's critical that we continue to stay up with all of these current trends. And, the bottom line is the municipality needs to be responsive to its residents. And this will allow us to be even more responsive and to continue building on the things like our website and the other ways that we are. So very supportive of all that. My question is more along the lines of the bids. That looked like a pretty comprehensive program, yet there's like a $40,000 disparity in some of the things that came in. And I know there's probably a lot more to it, so I'm just, what do the other ones do that this one doesn't?
I don't think it was a matter of that. I think a lot of those companies are app companies in general, and they wanted to build something from scratch for us, whereas Public Stuff already had, the platform in place and are familiar with municipalities and that kind of thing. So I think this is definitely the right way to go.
Yeah, no, I agree. Thank you.
Any other questions? Councilmember Platt-Honson.
You stole my first part, so I don't have to repeat it. Obviously, communication is key. To follow up actually on your question, there are basically two ways to go in the world of app development. You can basically build your own and then it's yours, so it's a one-time cost up front. The other is to leverage a third-party system where you're basically paying a subscription over time. Mm-hmm. So it's never yours. You have to pay it forever. So my question, to bounce it back here, is I'm assuming that's $4,100 per year for ever or for however long we're utilizing the system?
Correct.
Okay.
And that cost is scaled to the size of our community. And also, I think they locked in the price for us for the past 2 years. So that was nice that we could wait this long before we were able to proceed.
The one thing that we liked about this company as well is that any updates that they have, unless they're custom made for some specific reason, they'll give to us automatically. And this company, when we spoke with the other companies, they were way ahead of the game. They were ready, and they did an excellent job.
I had a follow-up question as well. I'm wondering, and maybe this could go to either of you, in terms of measuring success, how are we looking at doing that? Are we looking at a number of users per year? Are we looking at a reduction in time of issue resolution? $4,100 isn't a ton of money each year, but if we end up only having, 15 residents use it, that's a pretty high cost per person. So I'm just wondering what we're using to determine its success and whether we should move forward past, a 1-year trial period or a 2-year or 3-year. This is a proposed 3-year, so I'm wondering, are we ready to dive into a 3-year commitment, and how are we deciding?
Well, cost obviously was one factor, and we did discuss this the 1-year theory with the attorney. We were concerned about that, to lock us in for 3 years, but it's going to take a little while for us to figure out whether or not it's going to work. So the first year it's really not going to be a good measure. We're going to do everything within our power to promote this, to make sure that residents use this, because like everything, it's still a new tool. Even amongst our directors, they're going to have to get used to something like this as well, so that, because they're going to have to respond quickly now, even quicker than before. There's no hiding. There's no someone can say to us, well, you didn't tell me about this. We can track it. So I guess even if we answer more efficiently, I think that's an improvement in itself. And I know our residents sometimes they'll be able to monitor this as well. They'll be able to watch, how we're doing, and I think that's the other step that I'm going to be taking a look at. So it's not that easy in terms of cost for the first year, because I really don't have much to measure. I'm only looking at improving productivity and improving the way we do things, and how I see the future, what I think will happen in the future as to how residents will communicate with us, and so that's what I'm looking at. But definitely, I will monitor this. And we do have a termination clause. If we feel that this is something that we don't want to do, then correct me if I'm wrong, Case, what kind of a termination we have? We just simply need to send them in writing. Mr. Attorney, help me out on this. There is a termination clause after 3 years.
Yeah.
We just notify them,
Yeah.
and I believe that it's over. But at least I think a 3-year period is a decent time. And again, it's going to take a little while for our residents to get used to. So not the first year, but I'm hoping that the second and third year we'll see more and more.
And one of the tools it has too is if a resident goes on, or Googles Berkeley and gets on the website, if you're on a mobile device, an iPad or iPhone or a BlackBerry or anything like that, we're going to set it up so it automatically says, do you want to download our app? I'm sure you've all seen that to some extent before. So that's another way to get it out there and make it known.
Well, excuse me, two more things that I forget. Yeah, yes, this is a way that we can work with our residents to assist them in whatever it is that they need from us. But it's also a tool that we can use to promote our city to others out there that are going to be using this. And this is also a tool that we can further use to communicate with our residents, say, of an event or of an issue that the city council is wishing to address. So I think it'll be a much bigger tool than just an information tool or a way that we can quickly resolve problems. And promotion for me is very important, especially there's a part of the video that you saw where we're going to be able to communicate with other cities as well. And that's something that I'm working on, especially with the Ward 5. That's something that I'm very interested in. I'm hoping that they will join us on this issue. They've all talked about it, and they've showed some interest, but we're the first to actually go for it.
Very good. Councilmember Baker.
Thank you, Your Honor. Thanks to you both for bringing this to us here for consideration today. This certainly has been on a lot of our minds for quite some time, and I appreciate the step forward with the technology. Just a couple of quick comments as well. Agreed with this conversation that this really is about communication and services. We just happen to be finding more and inventive ways to leverage technology to help us do what we're here to do, which is to provide the quality services that our residents and businesses expect and deserve. So I appreciate this. I also do want to thank in advance the support of basically the entire city staff, because as you pointed out,
It's going to be all of us.
standing up the app is actually the easy part. And I'm really pleased with our recommendation of not trying to develop ourselves. I think we have better things to do with our resources than turn into software developers. As a former software developer, it comes with some interest that I say that, but I really think that leveraging companies that do this for a living and then having this focus on our community and working with our employees and hopefully even the volunteers is really important. So as a culture change, this is kind of a big deal for us because, to your point, if expectations will be pretty high on the city's performance once this is out there. If somebody has a question about where's the polling precinct, or they showed the pothole examples in the video and things like that, there's an expectation of timely response and thoroughness that isn't just yours or the city managers, but ours as a community to respond to that and to be productive. So it's no small step that we're embarking upon here. I'm really pleased that we're taking this together. I think the breadth of services here is impressive. I did have a chance, as did I know all of us, review this material quite thoroughly. The quality and the variety of offerings that this platform offers, I think, is quite compelling. You hinted at the integration with the website and other things. If someone was to log an issue on the device, so they could go to the website and track it. They can issue it on the website and go to the device to track it.
It's not just an app; it's also a portal on the website that'll have all the same information.
That's right. I think that's a key point as well that we get with partnering with companies such as this. That integration, both with the site as well as the mobile capability, broadens it, even those beyond the folks that carry around smartphones and tablets and things. As far as the apps go, I'll close with just more of a safety comment than anything else. We saw examples here about reporting potholes and asking questions and things like that. Please be safe. If we were to move forward with this tonight and roll this out, I do have a timing question on that too. I know it's in the material. Be safe out there, folks. This whole texting and driving and smartphone stuff is cool, but pull over. It's not worth it. Take your time, pull over, wait till you get wherever you need to be, then report whatever it is or ask whatever question you have to do. I'd rather you be safe and be able to see your request through than cause something silly. So anyway, my standard question on these kind of fun things is, if we were to proceed, when might we be able to begin with this, and how long do we think the journey will take us?
I think the time frame, I think, to get it up and running is less than a month, from what I've talked to them about.
Yeah, the materials reflected that as
Yeah.
well in terms of the timing. I just kind of wanted to let folks have an impression that this isn't, years or months in the making. It's because, like you said, it's leveraging the platform.
Plug and play and ready to go.
And it's mostly, again, internal to city operations to be able to understand the workflow and as a request arrives, how it gets routed and how we respond it. And back to the comments around, very good comments, I think, around measuring success. I think certainly there'll be quantitative and qualitative measures that I'm sure the platform offers to us that we will use the first year to set a baseline for, right, in terms of number of requests we receive by different categories, the responsiveness with which we're able to process those. I think will be some key baselines for us to then set targets for improvement year over year, I think, in terms of visibility and the ability to satisfy those requests. So I'm excited about this as a platform. I think this really is a big step forward for our residents and businesses, and then hopefully we can set an example for our neighbors as well.
I hope so. I hope so.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Thank you, Casey.
Anybody else? I think this, my colleague is exactly right. This is an enormous step forward and has great potential going into the future to make us more efficient as an organization within ourselves, first of all, and then as we respond to the community and community needs. So this is a great job, Casey, and we're very pleased that you've brought this to us, and that you will be able to shepherd it into existence and keep us all as proficient as we need to be for our varying dimensions of this particular platform. So on that thought, Ms. Prince, would you please call the roll on M5313?
Turbrack,
Yes.
Baker,
Yes.
Blanchard,
Yes.
Kadekel,
Yes.
Platt-Onson,
Yes.
Stedman,
Yes.
O'Dwyer.
Yes. And now, Ms. Prince, would you please read item number 5 on tonight's agenda?
Resolution number R3613, matter of accepting gifts from the Friends of Berkley Parks and Recreation to the Parks and Recreation Department.
Is there a motion to approve R3613?
Motion to approve 3613.
Motion to approve by Mayor Pro Tem Turbrack with support by Councilmember Kadekel. Ms. DeSessa.
Council, we're very fortunate this evening to bring this item to your attention. I'll have our Director of Parks and Recreation please come forward and give us a little background on the items that are being donated to the City of Berkeley. And in turn, I ask the City Council to consider formal acceptance. So with that, Mr. Colwell, thank you for joining us.
Good evening, Mayor, Council, City Manager. We are very fortunate to have a marvelous group of people working with us, with the Friends, where we feel, it's such a good relationship. Karen and Kelly are here tonight, and when we have requests or we have needs, in a lot of cases, they have ideas, and they stay involved with the things that we do. So our senior center, we had such a huge group of people coming out to play Wii bowling, and one TV and one gaming system wasn't enough. So we got a flat screen TV and another Wii gaming system, so the seniors could, so we could get more people out there playing. We didn't have enough rental skates at the ice arena. We needed, a CD player, a new tuner, and a microphone at the ice arena. So, some things that were, a little bit smaller, a little bit different, but really it went to, help the overall efficiency and the things that we need at the arena. The Friends stepped up and helped us get what we need. So, we feel very fortunate to have this group in our corner.
Thank you very much, Tom. Any discussion, questions on this topic?
Mr. Mayor, just
Sessa.
very briefly, I know that Ms. Corber is here with us this evening. I know she'd like to make a comment or anything. She's very bashful. Okay. There you go.
I'm Kelly Vick. I am the secretary of the Friends of Berkeley Parks and Rec, and we just wanted to thank you for this recognition. We know that community service and volunteerism can be a thankless job, and it's just nice to be recognized for the dedication and passion we have for our city. So, thank you.
Ditto. Thank you both very much. And I suppose it is only in government proceedings that we have to have a vote to accept these gifts. And so we are, with the gratitude of the residents of the city, and particularly all the people who use those donations to the city, it improves the quality of the services we can provide. We thank you very much. Ms. Prince, please call the roll on R3613.
Baker?
Yes.
Blanchard?
Yes.
Kadeco?
Yes.
Platt Onson?
Yes.
Stedman?
Yes.
Turbrack?
Yes.
O'Dwyer?
Yes. And now, Ms. Prince, will you please read item number 6?
Resolution number R3713, matter of accepting donated gifts and landscaping work from Four Seasons Garden Center.
Is there a motion to approve R3713?
Motion to approve 3713.
Move to approve by Councilmember Baker with support by Mayor Pro Tem Terbrack. Mr. Sessa.
Council, here again, we're very fortunate to receive this gift, this donation from Four Seasons, total of $3,862. And this was in the form of flowers, soil, plants, and landscaping. I don't know if a representative from Four Seasons is with us this evening, but if not, I'll turn it over to Mr. Caldwell, and he can say a little. Mr. Caldwell.
Yes, Glenn Goldberg, who owns Four Seasons, is a very passionate supporter of the ice arena. He's not only been in to, volunteer on a couple of our cleanup days, but he stepped up to the plate. And for those of you who haven't been by the ice arena as of late, you got to go and check it out. They did a great job putting together. It makes the front of the building, look night and day different. So, obviously we're doing a lot of things to, beautify the ice arena, and this certainly goes right along with those efforts. And the beautification committee, I know you all know this, but they did some work to the front of the building too. So we're really happy with it and very thankful for Glenn and the Four Seasons crew.
Thank you. And you're absolutely right. It looks very well. The ice arena on the outside and the inside both look very well and reflects a lot of work from volunteers. And of course, Mr. Goldberg's donation of plants and landscaping makes it look very well. So we're enormously thankful to them. Anybody have anything else to add to that? No questions, no discussion. Ms. Prince, please call the roll on R3713.
Blanchard?
Yes.
Kadeco?
Yes.
Platt Onson?
Yes.
Stedman?
Yes.
Turbrack?
Yes.
Baker?
Yes.
O'Dwyer?
Yes. And now, Ms. Prince, would you please call or read item number 7?
Motion number M5413, matter of authorizing the mayor to execute a contract between SMART and the city of Berkeley for fiscal year 2014 municipal credit and community credit funds in order to provide public transportation services for the period of July 1st, 2013 to June 30th, 2014.
Is there a motion to approve M5413?
Move to approve M5413.
Motion to approve by Councilmember Kadeco with support by Councilmember Stedman. Mr. Sessa.
Council, this is an agreement that comes before you on an annual basis. This has been reviewed by our city attorney, and he has recommended it for your consideration. Now, before I ask Mr. Caldwell to just give us a brief summary of what exactly these services are that we received from this contract, I'd like to let everyone know that if this is approved, the city of Berkeley is eligible to receive $14,706 in municipal credit funds and $18,378 in community credit funds. Now, the reason for the separation is because they each have their separate use. So with that, I'll ask Mr. Caldwell to come up and just give us a brief explanation. Mr. Caldwell.
Thank you, Madam Mayor.
Mr. Caldwell.
Thank you, Council members. Thank you for the opportunity to speak to you
This contract that you have before you tonight is pretty similar to the ones that you've seen for many years. These funds go to pay for our bus drivers, our dispatchers, and really, these are the funds that SMART helps us run this program as a whole.
Very good. Any questions? Councilmember Cadeckel.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. More of a comment. I just want to say how fortunate we are to have this partnership with SMART. Watching seniors go to the Tiger games or the 2120 or 21100 group or whatever. I think it's just, we're very fortunate to have this type of transportation in our community for a lot of people that are unable to get back and forth.
Absolutely. It is a great partnership. In a lot of cases, the seniors don't have any other option. So.
That's right. Seeing no additional discussion then, Ms. Prince, would you please call the roll on M5413?
Cadeckel?
Yes.
Platt Onson?
Yes.
Stedman?
Yes.
Turbrack?
Yes.
Baker?
Yes.
Blanchard?
Yes.
O'Dwyer?
Yes. Now, Ms. Prince, please read item number 8 on tonight's agenda.
Motion number M5513, matter of authorizing the purchase of a zero-turn lawnmower for the Parks and Recreation Department at a cost not to exceed $9,804.15 from Billings Lawn Equipment at 221 North Main Street, Royal Oak, Michigan.
Is there a motion to approve M5513?
Motion to approve M5513.
Motion to approve by
Support.
Councilmember Blanchard with support by Mayor Pro Tem Turbrack. Mr. Sessa.
Council, as you know, this item was budgeted in this year's budget. And as you can see, we are going to see a little bit of a savings. Originally, we estimated that this item was going to come in at about $11,000, and we, thanks to the bidding process, we were able to come up with a better price. This mower comes with a 2-year warranty on the equipment, and as you can see in this memorandum that was put together by Mr. Caldwell, the prices were quoted through the state of Michigan pricing. So they did the estimates for us. So with that, Mr. Caldwell, can you just simply explain where this lawnmower will be used and how it will be better than the one we had before?
Certainly. So the lawnmower that we currently have, we're looking at replacing, just has a number of hours on it. And as you all know, the more hours on machinery like this, the less efficient that it runs. And really, a machine like this with the 9 parks that we have, there's a lot of grass that grows, and we're really talking about efficiency for our parks maintenance staff. And this is the machine that Mr. Simpson, our parks maintenance leader, was looking for. He's happy with this model, and I think that it'll help us keep our green spaces nice during the summer months.
Very good. Councilmember Blanchard.
Thank you, Your Honor. What's the life cycle on a mower like this? How often do we have to replace these?
Well, the current one that we have is on its 5th year, and we figure that we probably could get another year out of it, but it started having, some minor issues, and so now is the time to.
Thank you.
Councilmember Baker.
Thank you, Your Honor. Thanks for the information and the bidding process, of course, here for this. Along the similar lines, when might we be able to take delivery of this new equipment?
Well, we can, at this point, we can pick it up. It is available at Billings, and so, once we get approval, we can, go through the finance process, and, we could have it in possession this month.
It's a relatively quick process. And
Sure.
then what's the intentions with the existing equipment? Scrap it, sell it, auction
Nope,
it?
the existing equipment will go up with the DPW's next haul up to the thumb and be auctioned.
All right, thank you.
You bet.
Very good. Anything else on this? Seeing none, Ms. Prince, will you please call the roll on M5513?
Platt Onson?
Yes.
Stedman?
Yes.
Turbrack?
Yes.
Baker?
Yes.
Blanchard?
Yes.
Cadeckel?
Yes.
O'Dwyer?
Yes. And now, Ms. Prince, would you please read item on number 9?
Motion number M5613, matter of approving the Macomb County Cooperative Bid Program purchase of a 2014 Ford F-250 pickup and a 2014 Ford F-350 stake truck chassis at a total cost of $45,125 to Signature Ford of Owasso, Michigan.
Is there a motion to approve M5613?
Motion to approve.
Motion to approve by Councilmember
Support.
Blanchard with support by Mayor Pro Tem Turbrack. Mr. Sessa.
Council, obviously, these two items are budgeted, and we are recommending them. But to help me give you a quick description of what these trucks are used for, I've asked our Director of Public Works, Mr. Derek Schuler, to explain. Thank you.
Good evening. Before you tonight is the approval for the award of 2 trucks for the DPW. These are both replacement vehicles, both new vehicles. They were budgeted in the 13-14 budget process. One is a 3/4 ton pickup and the other is a 1 ton stake truck chassis that will require some additional work on it before it's complete. The stake truck is used, will be used for hauling heavy equipment like fire hydrants, manhole frames and covers, those sort of things. So we're going to be looking to probably bring that back before you for a hoist and some other improvements to that chassis to make it so that we can utilize it at its full potential. These are replacing a 1999 Chevy as well as a 2000 Chevy pickup, both with approximately 50,000 miles. Those are on a 10-year replacement cycle. Those 50,000 miles are hard, they're city miles, they're hard miles. There's quite a bit of rust on these vehicles. In fact, the floorboards, at least on one of them, have rusted through to the point where we've got a sign blank inside the cab because the floorboards are rusted in the one pretty heavily. So they've seen their time and we're looking to replace those. These will be purchased through the Macomb County bid, which all of you are familiar with. We received substantial savings with this bid. We couldn't touch this pricing anywhere else. I certainly hope that this continues. In my memo, I've listed the savings on the Ford 250 pickup as savings of $13,000 approximately, and on the Ford F350, the savings is approximately $12,000 over the MSRP list price. Both vehicles come with a warranty, the 36,000 miles, 36-month warranty, and we're hoping to order them soon and bring them into our fleet very soon, and we will send 2 vehicles to auction after delivering acceptance of these vehicles.
Any discussion? Councilor Blanchard.
Thank you, Your Honor. A couple of quick questions. The F-350, what's the GVW on that?
Councilman, I know you're always good for asking me that gross vehicle weight question.
You should be ready. Ask it every time.
And I should know by now to answer that. Of course,
while you're looking, I will comment, I think these are excellent prices. You've done a very good job of getting this. And the other question I have is our current stake bed good enough to put on this truck? Is that, you're taking the one stake bed off the old truck and put on a new chassis?
that is not our intent. We're intending to put a new stake bed on the new chassis, not utilize the one from the old truck.
Okay, so you come back to us.
So we're going to have to come back, get prices.
So you're going to need a bed and a hoist.
That is correct. That's our intent, is to add a hoist to lift up hydrants and other heavy equipment.
I'll bring you some information.
Okay, thank you. I did find the numbers for you here. 14,000 on the 350.
That's good. The other one's probably 99 or
And
8,600.
$10,000 on the other vehicle.
Okay.
Way off.
Good.
There's a lot of details here. Thank you for your patience.
Thank you.
Mayor Pro Tem Turbrack.
Just to follow up on, you mentioned it in Councilmember Blanchard, with the savings, is that going to be enough to cover the additional costs for
Good question.
new parts?
And we
or
do
not?
believe the savings on the vehicles will cover the difference. We had budgeted $50,000 for that stake truck. The price through Macomb County is $24,000, which leaves us a substantial amount. So we will still come in under the budgeted amount.
Good, thank you.
And what would we typically get in the auctions for the 2 old trucks?
Yeah, every year, at least once a year, sometimes I know it's been twice a year, we take these vehicles to auction, and David may remember, I feel like it's February, we usually go to auction with city vehicles and equipment, and we just basically call them and send them a list of what we're potentially hoping to auction, and then they come and pick them up from us. They'll load up the vehicles with other items that we're looking to sell at the auction, and then they sell it, report back to us, and then we provide Mr. Sabuda with the check.
And the question is the check substantial?
It is substantial enough, yeah. We have found that we get good, fair market value
Okay.
for the items that we have sent.
Okay,
Certainly
that
from
was-
the vehicle.
That was my question.
Usually about 10% of the original cost, 10 to
Oh.
20%.
Okay.
Very good.
Okay, very good. Not bad. Any additional questions for Derek? Seeing none then, Ms. Prince, would you please call the roll on M5613?
Stedman?
Yes.
Turbrack?
Yes.
Baker?
Yes.
Blanchard?
Yes.
Kadeco?
Yes.
Platt Onson?
Yes.
O'Dwyer?
Yes. Now, Ms. Prince, would you please read item number 10 on tonight's
Motion.
agenda?
Motion number M5713, matter of authorizing the city manager to lease a DI 380 office right inserting system for 5 years in the amount not to exceed $329.49 a month from Pitney Bowes, 34705 West 12 Mile Road, Suite 200, Farmington Hills.
Is there a motion to approve M5713?
Motion to approve.
Motion to approve by Councilmember Stedman. Support. Support by Councilmember Blanchard. Mr. Sessa.
You know, Council, I know this is a very small item in comparison to some of the ones you've heard this evening. However, this is an agreement that I need to sign. It's a contract, and our current mailing system has outlived its lease agreement, so this is why I'm here with you this evening. And basically, this is a machine that does the folding and inserting of our water bills and tax bills for Public Works and, of course, for the Finance Department. One thing that's different this year, we were able to save a little bit of dollars in that we are recommending a much smaller machine than what we ordinarily have. So we're going to have a savings of about approximately $57 a month is the estimated savings by downgrading a little bit. But we did speak, and when I say we, I mean our coordination or our communications person, Nancy Line, who's responsible for these types of machines. She met with Public Works and asked them, and the Finance Department as well, and asked if this machine could meet their needs, and the answer was yes. So we are recommending this. Again, we're pretty pleased with Pitney Bowes. I wasn't looking to change the agreement with them. I was just simply coming back to City Council for an updated agreement with them. Now, with that, I know that Mr. Schuler may have a little bit more to say as to the use of this piece of equipment. Mr.
Sure. The DPW uses this machine on a monthly basis for utility bills. We have different water billing districts, and so every month we are sending out a couple thousand water and utility bills. So we use this machine at least on a monthly basis. It also gets used for the tax bills and also some odds and ends throughout the time of the year as well for folding and placing in the envelope. So it's critical for us to have this machine. And we've been very happy with Pitney Bowes as far as the service goes based on the previous lease. So we're fully recommending moving forward with this different model at this time.
Very good.
Mr. Mayor.
Mr.
We
Finance
also,
Director.
we use this machine to stuff and fold for the tax bills. And we'll do this 2 times a year, and we will run through 4,100 to 4,300 items per cycle. So this is a key piece of equipment for us. Thank you.
Very good. Thank you. Councilmember Baker.
Thank you, Your Honor. I noticed that this is a slightly smaller unit, probably more appropriate for the types of volume that we produce. Does that account for the savings that we're seeing here with this?
It does. It is a smaller unit, but based on the numbers that we generate in our monthly use, they suggested that we go down to this unit, and we're certainly willing to work with it. And we've even asked them about, if there was an issue with the unit, that we'd be able to come back and step up if we needed to go back to the larger unit. But we're comfortable moving forward with this at this time.
Nice, thank you. And as a lease, to what extent are we responsible for the maintenance of the equipment, or just feeding it in and taking them out the other end?
We feed them in, and if there's any issues at all, we call Pitney Bowes, and they've been very prompt, and there isn't any other invoicing that's made. It's the lease covers all of those maintenance items.
Great.
Very good. Certainly a reputable organization.
Yes, very good.
Great history. Ms. Prince, please call the roll on M5713.
Turbrack?
Yes.
Baker?
Yes.
Blanchard?
Yes.
Kadeco?
Yes.
Platt Onson?
Yes.
Stedman?
Yes.
O'Dwyer?
Yes. And now, Ms. Prince, would you please read item number 11?
Motion number M5813, matter of approving a contract with Michael Garnett as a contractor acting as a firefighter, dispatcher, prisoner, processor in the Public Safety Department for the time period of October 8th, 2013 through December 31st, 2013.
Is there a motion to approve M 5813?
Motion to approve M 5813.
Support.
Motion to approve by Councilmember Blanchard with support by Councilmember Kadekel. Ms. DeSessa.
Council, this is an agreement that has been reviewed by our city attorney, and he is recommending it for your consideration as well. But to give you and our residents out there just a quick summary as to what this contract is for and how it'll work, I've asked our Chief Eshman, to come up and just give us a brief summary of what this contract is all about. Chief, thank you.
Good evening. As you're aware, the Public Safety Department has a budgeted position for a contracted firefighter, prisoner processor, backup dispatcher. It's a position that has to be occupied by some officer. We have chosen for the past few years to assign someone in this capacity. Since January of this year, Mr. Brian Smith has held the position. His contract is due to expire December 31st. Last week, however, he became a public safety officer. And that leaves the spot open for almost 3 months now. Currently, the Public Safety Department is in a crisis situation staffing-wise, only temporarily. I have 4 officers off on medical leaves. I have 2 officers who retired last week, and I have a dispatcher who announced a few days ago that she is leaving. So we have to fill these positions. This will take time, and it'll take time for the healing so that people off on medical leave can come back. Mr. Michael Garnett has volunteered to fill the spot. As you know, he's a former officer. He retired in January. In February, he came back in a similar contractor position to fill in for Justin Frost, who, as you're aware, was in Afghanistan on military deployment. On September 9th, when Justin returned to duty, Mr. Garnett's contract automatically terminated. He's a perfect fit for this position. There will be no time needed for recruiting, training, and getting him involved in the department. That can take almost 3 months. This is an instant fix. I'd like to note how dependable Mike has always been in this department. He served 26 years as an officer and 7 months as a contractor and never took a sick day. He is always there. He will step in hopefully tomorrow morning if you approve this contract and be right back to work. The cost of this contract is $11,119. The money is budgeted. I discussed it with Mr. Sabuda. The money is there, and we recommend that this contract be approved. Questions?
Thank you. Any questions for the Chief? Councilmember Kadekel.
Not a question, a comment. Thank you, Mr. Mayor and Chief. I remember when I moved in the city and I met Officer Garnett, and it just seems as much as he wants to leave, he's not leaving. And we're very fortunate to have him here. As you just explained, he's been filling in for the positions we need. And once again, as we saw at the last council meeting, he was here to help us with the purchase of the vehicles, and he's just always there for us. And I personally want to say a thank you to him and to you for keeping him around.
Thank you.
Thank you. Councilmember Blanchard.
Thank you, Your Honor. One quick additional comment. He came back for the open house and served hot dogs with the American Legion, so he was there helping us out at the fire open house last weekend. So I think that's great that he's volunteered to come back and help us out and get us out of this jam, so I'm all for it.
Anybody else? Of course, Mike Garnett is an institution in the city. He's here for every event, and we're delighted that he's able to fill in again in this capacity. It solves a difficulty from your point of view on the staffing situation. Now, let me ask you a related question, is with regard to the officers that are injured or ill. When do you see them being able to get back in action?
Into full duty?
Yeah.
At least a minimum of 4 to 6 weeks for the quickest one.
Yeah.
2 or 3 months for the one that I believe will take the longest.
See, it kind of reminds us that the work our public safety officers do is hazardous work, and they get injured. doing these kinds of tasks that actually can endanger their lives at times. And we're enormously grateful for what they do on behalf of all our residents.
Thank you.
So I'm, of course, supportive of this as well because it is a perfect fit. And on that note, Ms. Prince, would you please call the roll on M5813?
Baker?
Yes.
Blanchard?
Yes.
Kadeco?
Yes.
Platt Onson?
Yes.
Stedman?
Yes.
Turbrack?
Yes.
O'Dwyer?
Yes. And now, Ms. Prince, would you read number 12? on tonight's-
Motion number M5913, matter of casting Berkeley's official vote for individuals to serve as directors of the Michigan Municipal Liability and Property Pool and direct the city clerk to send in the marked ballot.
Is it a motion to approve M5913?
Motion to approve.
Motion to approve by Councilmember Baker.
Support.
Support by Councilmember Kadeco. Mr. Sessa.
Council, as you know, this is something that we also do on an annual basis. And as members of the Michigan Municipal Liability and Property Pool, we also are required to vote for board members. And in this case, we have 3 individuals, one of whom I know very, very well. The first is the chair, Penny Hill. She is the village manager for the village of Kalkaska, and I strongly recommend her. Also, we have Michelle Van Wert. She is a council member, City of Williamston, and she will serve as vice chair. And also as a member of the board, Ms. Jean Stegman. She is the mayor, the City of Menominee. Council, with that, it is up to you to simply vote as the council and see if you would like to have these individuals serve on the board.
I don't anticipate enormous discussion on these candidates. And hearing none,
They're good people.
Ms. Prince, would you please call the roll on M5913?
Blanchard?
Yes.
Kadeco?
Yes.
Platt Onson?
Yes.
Stedman?
Yes.
Turbrack?
Yes.
Baker?
Yes.
O'Dwyer?
Yes. And now we come to the communications portion of tonight's meeting, and Councilmember Kadeco is up first.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. As Chief just mentioned, we had a couple officers retire last week, and I wasn't personally able to be at their little gathering, but I want to publicly thank Sergeant Kelly and Officer Champagne. Again, when I moved in the city over 22 years ago, they were the younger officers, and I wish them well in both of their endeavors. Earlier, we saw the Friends of Berkley Parks and Recreation. They just keep on doing and keep on doing. And if you really want to get involved in an organization, they're a great group of people. They're always looking out for the betterment of our Parks and Recreation and our city. And I highly recommend get involved with that. Obviously, many of you know I've been ill over the last 4 or 5 months. Trying to get some more answers tomorrow. I want to thank everyone for their cards, their support, their phone calls, their text messages, especially when I sent out the one that I didn't need a lung transplant, and I thank God for that, and my phone just blew up, and it was awesome. It's really, you don't go through this alone when you see the support that the people behind you are giving you, and I thank everybody, my colleagues, administration, everybody, residents. And I just want to say I hope the Tigers make a quicker recovery than I do. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Very good. Thank you. Councilmember Platt Onson.
Just a couple of things. First, November actually brings America Recycles Day, which means that October brings nominations for Recycler of the Year. So I believe October 31st is the deadline to nominate yourself or someone else. And typically you can get the application at the DPW and on the city's website, so I'm sure it will be available as well. I'd like to thank my colleagues for coming out to the Woodward 5 Sustainability Committee summary. The work we've been doing over the past, it seems like forever, year and a half, sort of coming to a close, and that report is available on our website. It's actually really interesting reading for public officials, but also the public as a whole. We did a lot of evaluations around our communities and how we could improve them in the world of economics and community and being and environment and being really positioned for sustainable growth. So I encourage everyone to take a look at that. And finally, everybody knows I love a good local business, and I finally had a chance to try out Cocoa Fairfields. So if you haven't been there, the stuffed French toast was great. I was stuffed. I was unable to finish it. But it's a nice little addition to our downtown. So if you haven't had a chance to try it, I encourage you guys to stop by. That's all. Thanks.
Mayor Pro Tem Tarbrek.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I actually had a chance to go to Cocoa Fairfields, and it was fantastic. I had some oatmeal and a couple other things. It was great.
That seems a little healthier than what I had.
Yeah, well, you know, I'm certainly always on a health kick. I'm trying to stay healthy. Really, the only thing that I have this evening, last Friday, I attended with the mayor the first Berkley Bruins hockey game, the Berkley Bruins Midwest Junior Hockey League. The MWJHL officially opened up their residency in Berkley last Friday. They played the Traverse City Hounds. You know, the mayor mentioned earlier when Mr. Colwell was here speaking, the arena is in very good shape. You know, it just paint. It looks clean. It looks nice. There's a little different feeling in there now. The flooring. I know there's some work going on with the high school as well. You know, a lot of improvements to the arena, making it not just a usable space, but a profitable space. In fact, with us selling the ice and everything else that we've been able to market there. So I did just want to officially welcome them. It was an entertaining game. Unfortunately, I had to leave just before it ended, but I certainly hope to catch many more of their games. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilmember Baker.
Thank you, Your Honor. Good evening, folks. Quick update from the Michigan Municipal League. As I mentioned in our meeting last month, the Michigan Municipal League had its annual convention. Berkley participates as a member organization, member community in the MML, and we were real pleased that this year's annual convention was here in downtown Detroit. Their locations rotate every year, and it was real good timing for them to see, for elected officials and leaders from across the state come and see Detroit and the region. And we were all spotlighted quite favorably. There's many good stories to be told about the things going on here in Berkley and around us. Some of the key themes from the conference: it was a four-day set of sessions. The key themes included the notions of placemaking, fiscal stability and sustainability, downtown streetscape projects, notion of innovation districts, sustainability initiatives, and much more. One area in particular, there's a thing called the My Place Partnership Initiative. That's an MI like Michigan, My Place Partnership Initiative, which is an interdepartmental collaboration committee, which features a sense of place council. And so, which features agencies and associations from across the state. The notion of placemaking is really gone from this kind of new term that folks are trying to come to terms with to part of our common vernacular. And that was one of the main themes throughout the conference, was the notion of placemaking and creating this sense of belonging, the sense of desire to join a community and be a part of that and contribute and also reap the benefits of all that the communities have to offer. We in Berkley are very fortunate to have many great assets as part of our city: the walkable neighborhoods, the blossoming downtown, the tremendous schools, the efficient services that we provide. So we have many of the assets that our colleagues across the state are striving for. There's much yet to do here in the city and across the state, but with a solid framework in place that this placemaking agenda calls for, and the work that we do here in Berkley from the volunteers and from the staff and all the businesses and residents, we're making a tremendous difference. There was a fair amount of discussion about human rights initiatives across the state that recognize equality, and they celebrated our neighboring communities of Pleasant Ridge, Huntington Woods, Birmingham, and Ferndale for recently passing human rights ordinances. There was a panel discussion on the new Regional Transit Authority, focusing on the road travel thus far and what awaits. You guys have heard me give updates in the recent past about the transit initiatives, and we're pleased that the Metro Detroit area is now beginning to have the tools it needs to be able seriously consider and discuss these next steps as far as providing transit options for the region. Some of the options will be including a public open house again this fall. This will be our third one in the series here, where we provide materials and information and receive comments and feedback and suggestions and ideas from the public. We're at the stage now where some preliminary site locations are being sketched out, and including the route of the transit systems. So to get this far down the road is something that I think many of us, quite honestly, weren't even sure would happen. There's continued to be quite a bit of work ahead of us on the transit initiatives, but that was spotlighted as part of the MML conference as well. And lastly, it would not be a full recognition of all that's going on if there wasn't a fair amount of conversation around the City of Detroit's bankruptcy. The session concluded with a panel discussion around that very subject. Not only the City of Detroit, but from the business perspective and from the region. It was a healthy conversation between the panelists and then the Q&A with the membership that followed. One of the expressions that I liked hearing there was this notion of the tale of two cities. Detroit really is at a series of crossroads here, right? The municipality is struggling and has a long road ahead of it, but yet many parts of the city and by extension the region here are really flourishing. The business investments, the sense of energy and excitement that you kind of know that something's brewing, something's really going to happen around here. So that was a considerable amount of dialogue, not only about Detroit, but the realities of ensuring that we maintain strong fiscal discipline and do the kinds of things that you saw in here tonight in terms of keeping an eye on the pennies and making sure that we focus on what's best for our residents. I'd like to close with a quote from Teddy Roosevelt, who once said, "Far and away, the best prize that life offers is the chance to work hard at work worth doing." Again, that's far and away, the best prize that life has to offer is the chance to work hard at work that's worth doing. And I chose that quote because when I think about items earlier on the agenda today and prevalent throughout our dialogue, the volunteers that sign up to do this kind of work continues to amaze me when we see up and down the agenda and as we go up and down the streets. So much happens because of the volunteers that bring creativity and energy to what they do and help make this city all that it can be. So I think that's work worth doing. And as we've noted many times, to acknowledge all that they contribute to us is fantastic. So thank you.
Thank you. Councilmember Stedman.
Hi. Well, first of all, I'd like to thank the Beautification Committee for their really nice presentation and for bringing back recognition for people in the community who do take great pride in their property, which so many people do. And thank you to the Beautification Committee, who now has 5 members, which is wonderful. So the other thing, I also went to the MML convention, and Councilmember Baker really covered everything quite well, but I just want to reiterate, I went on a tour, and I was just amazed at how much incredible development there is downtown. How many buildings. Quicken Loan, the owner of Quicken Loan, Dan Gilbert, right, has bought 35 major properties down there and is renovating everything, building new. And he just felt that Detroit was the place to put the money because it was a very, in his estimation, cool place that had a lot of potential. And he could have chosen any other place in the United States, but he chose Detroit. There's, and other investors are building. There are nice places to eat. There are nice places to stay. There's a lot of housing and lofts being built in apartments. It's just incredible. So in spite of the bankruptcy, the public sector is still in there. So don't write off Detroit. It's coming back. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilmember Blanchard.
Thank you, Your Honor. I'd just like to make a couple of comments. We had our fire open house, which was a very successful event. We had, of course, our 2 fire trucks out there. We had the SWAT truck for the SWAT team that we participate with, and we had a hazmat truck from the area that we participate with. For the people to look at, we had a demonstration of how to cut up a car, how to rescue people with the Jaws of Life. We had a stove fire demonstration so people could see what happens if you get a grease fire on a stove. All that is educational for the adults primarily. We had a smokehouse for the kids to go through and learn how to exit a house if they find themselves in a smoky situation. We had hoses out there where they could squirt water. We had a chili cook-off. The American Legion was there passing out hot dogs. We had the LEAP program there doing child identification. So it was a number of educational things, and there's a lot of volunteers, a lot of work that worked very hard to pull that off. And I'd like to thank all of our public safety officers for the hard work that they did, and the Junior Women's Club and the American Legion, everybody that did a great job. I think all the kids that came had a great time, and the adults who got their kids to occupy their time for a while so they could see what was going on. So all in all, it was a very good time. I'd like to thank everybody who was involved.
Thank you. Mr. Sessa.
I'd just like to add a little bit to the Public Safety Fire Open House. You know, one of the things that I learned was that they weren't able to go out and promote the chili cook-off as much as they usually do in the past to get, people to participate. But this year, I think there's the spouses just all got together and they made the chilies, and I guess it was, I don't know who won, but I like I don't remember which one. They were all good. They were all very good. It was hard. But I really want to thank their spouses for being very supportive, and nowhere else but Berkeley would something like that occur. Just amazing, and I too enjoyed it. Wonderful, wonderful job. This past month, it seems like everyone is retiring from Berkeley, although that's not the case. It just feels like it. But we do have some individuals that have been here for such a long time that I'm definitely going to miss them. And besides Mike Garnett, but our library director, Celia Morse, also retired. Our fire marshal, Pete Kelly, has also retired. And he's coming back, though, as our code enforcement officer, but still he'll be at a different level. And public safety officer, Scott Champagne, has also retired. And again, these are individuals that spent more than 20 years working for the city of Berkeley, and they did a tremendous job, and I simply want to recognize them and thank them for all their hard work. I'd like to encourage all our residents to, again, subscribe to our website so that you can stay in tune with things that are happening in our city, and obviously we're going to be promoting the app very heavy coming up pretty soon. So be aware, it's coming. And our voters, our taxpayers that have given us the privilege have given me the privilege of managing this community. One of the things that I finally had a chance to do, and I'm hoping that residents will enjoy the improvements, but I know for the past umpteen years, I've been trying to paint and to recarpet our city hall. It's been more than 20 plus years since we've been able to do some of these repairs. And I've had to push them back a couple of times because of budgeting issues. So for the first time in a long, long time, we're able to recarpet City Hall and paint it. I think residents that come by and seen it, they're very pleased. And I couldn't thank them enough for allowing us to do this. I think it's long overdue. But again, thank the taxpayers for allowing us to be able to fix our City Hall, because obviously it's a place of pride for us, and it's a place where people come and perhaps do more than just pay bills, but it's a place to gather and talk. So with that, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. And the man that pays the bills.
That's right.
Mr. Sabuda.
Thank you, Your Honor. I have nothing to report this evening.
Thank you. Mr. Attorney.
Well, first thing I'd like to report is after all the talk about the stuffed French toast and the chili cook-off, I'm feeling very hungry. But I'd like to, not usually the feeling one has after a meeting. I must compliment and commend the council and the city manager on the really nice job on the redecorating. I mean, I noticed right away when I came in last week, just seems like a completely different, cleaner, just a much nicer, up-to-date building.
Thank you.
Probably, I'm sure it'll be real good for the staff and just morale in general. On the legal front, we continue to monitor legal developments, both statutory and case law that may affect municipal law in general, and certainly the city of Berkeley. It's been a relatively quiet month in the sense that I don't have any updates on the things I've reported to you previously. We'll continue to do so. There's always things, for instance, on the medical marijuana front, and a few other things where we're waiting for some court decisions to be handed down. And you never know. It could be next week. It could be a month from next week before we hear something. But we'll do our best to keep you apprised. And again, things are going smoothly. And I guess no news is hopefully good news from the legal front.
Very good. Thank you. And I have just a couple of things. First of all, I'd like to thank the City Council for their diligence in conducting the evaluation of the city manager. We did that a few weeks back, and again, a wonderfully successful evaluation for our city manager. A quick summary would indicate that as manager of the city, she's doing a superb job, and nationally has acquired a wonderful reputation as a speaker in our profession and a leader amongst managers nationally. So we're very proud of your achievements in that respect as well. Second item is a return to the Woodward 5 sustainability report. Councilmember Platt-Onson mentioned that report, but she missed an important item, which is her single contribution to that whole effort. It was an enormous undertaking for the 5 communities to come together and put this important work together. And our point person on that was Councilmember Platt-Onson, and we thank you for your contribution on behalf of all of us. And finally, I would like to congratulate all of the homeowners who were honored tonight by the Beautification Committee. It is important that we continue to take pride in our community and in our homes. And the pictures that we saw tonight of those homes were really beautiful. And most of our residents in this city take pride in their homes and do a nice job. And they model the kind of image that we'd like to project from our city. And we thank all of them. And Four Seasons made a great contribution to the city. If you walk around the library and look at all of the plants and the landscaping that's there, or go around the ice arena, they have provided those free to this community to make our community look nice. And we're enormously thankful to them as well. And so on that note, I too, this last week, went to Cocoa Fairfields for breakfast. And again, it was a lovely experience, I must say. They're doing a very wonderful job, and I thoroughly enjoyed it, and would encourage people to try that new restaurant in town. Is there a motion to adjourn?
Move to adjourn.
Move to adjourn by Councilmember Cadeckel with support by Councilmember Stedman. Ms. Prince, would you please call the roll?
Oh, okay.
Yep. Let's see. Cadeckel?
Yes.
Platt-Onson?
Yes.
Stedman?
Yes.
Turbrack?
Yes.
Baker?
Yes.
Blanchard?
Yes.
O'Dwyer?
Yes. The October 7th meeting is adjourned.
John.